USA versus Japan. Which country offers the best quality of life? Comparing living costs and public services. When it comes to quality of life, the United States and Japan are two countries that immediately come to mind. But the question remains, which country truly offers a better living experience? Do you have to pay a high price for the luxury of living in the US? Or can you enjoy a more affordable yet comfortable lifestyle in Japan? In this article, we'll compare the cost of living, lifestyle, and public services between these two countries. The numbers below will help you make a well-informed decision about where you would prefer to live. Standard of living. USA versus Japan. Notable differences. USA. A diverse lifestyle with high living costs. The USA is a vast country with numerous cities offering high living standards, especially in cities like New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. However, living costs vary greatly depending on the location. Housing costs. In cities like New York, the cost of renting a one-bedroom apartment in the city center can be as high as $3,000 to $4,000 per month. In smaller cities like Austin or Phoenix, rental prices can range from $2,500 to $2,500 per month. Food costs. A typical meal at a mid-range restaurant in the US can cost around $15 to $20 per person. At grocery stores, a gallon of milk costs approximately $3 or $4, and chicken costs around $3 to $5 per pound. Transportation costs. In major cities like New York, a subway ticket costs about $2.75 per ride. However, if you use a car, fuel and maintenance costs can total around $100 or $200 per month for daily commuting. Japan. High standard of living with reasonable costs. While Japan's major cities like Tokyo and Osaka also have high living costs, the overall cost of living is still lower than that of the USA. Housing costs. In Tokyo, the rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center typically ranges from $1,000 to $2,500 per month. In suburban areas, the cost drops to about $500 to $800 per month. Food costs. A meal at a casual restaurant in Japan typically costs between $8 to $12 per person. A gallon of milk costs around $2 to $3, and chicken costs about $4 to $5 per pound. Transportation costs. A subway or bus fare in Tokyo is around $2 to $3 per ride, and Japan's public transportation system is extremely efficient, making it an affordable and convenient way to travel daily. Living costs. USA versus Japan. A clear comparison. Living costs in the USA, varying by city and lifestyle. Living costs in the US differ significantly between cities and regions. If you live in New York, costs are much higher compared to smaller cities. Renting an apartment, renting in New York, San Francisco, or Los Angeles can cost between $3,000 to $4,000 per month. However, in smaller cities like Phoenix or Detroit, rent could be as low as $1,500 to $2,500 per month. Utilities. Monthly utility bills, electricity, water, gas, generally range from $100 to $200 depending on the size of the apartment and the season. Health insurance. Healthcare in the US is one of the highest expenses, with health insurance premiums averaging $400 to $1,500 per month for an individual, depending on the type of coverage and the state. Living costs in Japan. Efficient and affordable. Living. Costs in Japan are generally lower than in the US, although major cities still have high living standards. Housing costs. Renting an apartment in central Tokyo costs around $1,000 to $1,500 per month. In Osaka or suburban areas, rent typically ranges from $800 to $200 per month. Utilities. Monthly utility bills for electricity, water, and gas are typically between $80 to $150, which is lower than in the US. Health insurance. Health insurance in Japan is part of the public healthcare system and costs about $100 to $300 per month for workers, depending on income. Public services. USA versus Japan. Efficiency and organization. Public services in the USA. Modern yet complex. The USA has a modern public service system, but several challenges exist. Healthcare. While the US has some of the most advanced hospitals and healthcare facilities, the cost of healthcare is extremely high, especially if you do not have insurance. A general doctor's visit can cost between $100–300 per visit. Public transportation. Public transport in large cities like New York is well developed, with subway tickets priced at $2.75 per ride. However, smaller cities lack efficient public transportation systems, leading to higher dependence on personal vehicles. Education. Public education in the U.S. is diverse, but the cost of university education is steep, with tuition fees ranging from $20,000–$40,000 per year for in-state students. Public services in Japan. Efficiency and discipline. Japan's public services are highly effective and organized. Healthcare. Japan's public healthcare system is world-renowned for its quality, with healthcare costs being relatively low. Citizens only pay about 30% of the medical expenses, and the rest is covered by public health insurance. Public transportation. Japan boasts one of the most efficient and punctual public transportation systems. Subway tickets cost between $2–3 per ride, and the trains are famous for their punctuality and cleanliness. Education. Education in Japan is free from elementary through high school, and university tuition is much more affordable compared to the U.S. Conclusion: USA or Japan? Which country should you choose? Both the United States and Japan offer unique advantages when it comes to quality of life, but they also have significant differences. The U.S. offers diversity, flexibility, and plenty of opportunities for personal growth and career advancement, but comes with high living costs, especially in major cities. On the other hand, Japan, with its efficient public services, affordable living costs, and high quality of life, offers a more stable and secure environment for those looking for a comfortable and organized lifestyle. Ultimately, the decision between the USA and Japan depends on your personal preferences. If you value freedom, a wide range of opportunities, and don't mind higher living expenses, the USA might be your ideal destination. However, if you prefer stability, efficiency, and lower living costs, Japan is certainly a country worth considering.